Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wayward Dice. Today we're going to be doing our sixth session, and yeah, we're going to be kicking back off from where we left off on our last one with the Wayward Dice Adventuring Crew.
All right, my name's Zach. As you can see, we are moving to this more digital landscape. I'm going to be playing three characters. So is Kale. Alexis is here. She's a guest, and we're going to have a lot of background audio for a while, but we'll see how far that goes. Alexis.
Hi, this is not my first rodeo, but this is my first time playing this character on Wayward Dice. My character is Swiftly. Swiftly Bounding is her full name, but you can just call her Swiftly. She's a Tabaxi bard, and if you're not familiar with what a Tabaxi is, she is from the jungles of Cholt. She's a cat person, standing about 4'3", with her trusty violin and lute at her side, and a pet velociraptor named Falling Feather, and he's the love of her life. She's white. She looks kind of like a cheetah. General likes include staring mindlessly out windows, shiny things, boxes, really warm naps. Dislikes include closed doors, hairballs, rain, usual stuff. So yeah, that's Swiftly in a nutshell.
Right. So, continuing our Dragon Heist campaign, soon to transition into the new Undermountain book whenever it gets published and shipped. But when we last left off, Alexis wasn't with us, and neither was her character, so she'll be joining mid-scene at the intro here. And previously, there had been a explosion outside the Wayward Dice wagering house, and the some of the adventurers in the Wayward Dice want to investigate, and in the course of their investigations, ended up at a couple of temples. One of the temples near to the scene of the crime. We set up a like a triage area, but there was almost a dozen dead bodies, and one of the local priests was casting like a speak with dead spell, and so they obtained some information from that, and have traveled down to another temple who is like the god of inventions, I guess. And the temple is called the House of Inspired Hands. The name of the god is Gond, and the party had just arrived outside the temple, and there they were they saw like a figure at the top of the temple, and a small little like metallic bird struck one of the characters and drew blood. I believe it was Deodre.
Yeah.
Did it hit Dordre? I want to say that it hit Rue. It
It
could
didn't
have
hit
been
Rue.
Rue.
Oh, did it hit Rue? Okay.
No, it didn't hit Rue.
I think he hit Dordre
It
for
could have
like
hit
1 point of
Dordre.
damage.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who.
I think Dordre has 1 hit point of damage taken. Kale, if you want to
Instead of
fix that.
30, yes, it's done.
Okay. All right. And I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Nathan. I'll be DMing.
Could be
Kale DM'd our Halloween special. I thought it was one of his better sessions. So, any clarifying questions before we start the scene? I'll pick up with a description of the scene.
I'm pretty sure that Dordre was running up a building where he was trying to parkour onto a building. Yeah, both of us were.
Okay.
So I
any,
guess.
Any questions though? Otherwise, I'll pick up with the description.
What are Prince Ottigan and Luckface doing? I don't quite remember.
Okay, so let me start the description. So you guys have all arrived. I think it'd been like an hour or two where you guys have been walking along through town to the temple. It's pretty famous, so no difficulties finding it. And arriving at the temple, a small metallic sparrow struck Dordre and pierced him, drawing some small amounts of blood.
This is just like a prick.
Yeah. And then I believe Dordre and Rue started climbing up the outer facing wall of the temple. I think it was 3 stories tall-ish. And the figure kind of like disappeared from view. And it was very small. You couldn't really make out any features. It is wintertime, early winter, and so it's kind of overcast. And I think late afternoon. You've been like walking around quite a bit today. The rest of the party, the 2 dwarves, Prince Firetusk and Luckface, the 2 dwarves are down on the ground with Malther and the wizard and Sad, the Kinku rogue. And when this is all happening, in the commotion, some of the acolytes of the temple and a temple priest came out. The temple priest is a dragonborn, which is a dragon-looking humanoid type person, and she came out and asked what was going on. Also, there were some bystanders and patrons of the temple, including the Tabaxi guard Swiftly, emerged from the temple because there's kind of like a scene. Georgie, I think, like screamed in pain. Anyways, it was pretty obvious. Like there's a commotion, and there are now like 2 people climbing up the outside of the temple. So I think let's pick up with Dordre and Rue climbing the outer wall. And the last we heard was the priestess calling out, "Get down from those walls. Come down here. You can't climb on our temple."
No.
Zach, if you do the honor, would you like to go and say what you're doing? Rue.
Yeah. Rue's gonna like look down over her shoulder and then look at Dordre and kind of judge how much further up the roof of the temple is.
How much is it?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. She's gonna try to judge how far the roof of the temple is. So how much further does she have to climb?
Well, I think she's only just started climbing, so she's maybe 5 feet off the ground. So she's got a good 3 stories, so maybe 25 feet-ish.
I love that. Well, she's just starting.
Yeah, so she'll come down a bit. What's the word I'm looking for?
We'll say she's currently almost to the 2nd floor, so she's a little bit out of reach. Like nobody could just jump up and pull her down, but she's not quite up to the 2nd floor because she had just jumped up onto the walls.
Yeah, she'll come down, but a bit more hesitantly than somebody who's completely willing would.
Okay. So she's kind of like pausing on the side of the temple.
Yeah.
Before letting go. All right.
Climbing down.
Kale, how about Georgie?
So reading one of my bonds, it is do anything to prove I'm superior to my rival. I think Rue is becoming my rival because everything I try doing, Rue's also doing. You know, like we both climbed the tower to get up there, and now Rue's trying to do this as well. I think I'm gonna continue going and prove that I'm superior. And I think I'm gonna try climbing the building by like kind of like like spider climbing, like climbing up like Nathan.
Yeah, I'm listening.
But kind of like like climbing in between walls if I can and get up higher and higher to go after the figure that's on the building.
I'm only looking off camera because that's where I have a character sheet. So
okay, I gotcha. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try climbing up.
Okay. Your acrobatics is a +6.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go ahead and let's see. It's a little icy because of the wintertime.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'll set the DC at 20, but give me an acrobatics check.
With my bonus, I got a 14.
Okay. So we'll say you slip a little bit, but are kind of like stuck about the same level as Rue was before she started turning down. So you didn't actually fall off,
Uh-huh.
but you were not able to progress up to the second floor.
But I'm still not beating her. Darn.
No, she's actually gone back down lower, so you're actually higher than she is.
Oh, okay.
She lowered
okay.
herself back down, and yeah.
Can Oh, go ahead.
Swiftly has exited the temple and is taking in the scene. Does she really say anything, or what's she thinking when she approaches the
So,
outside?
how exactly tall is this temple? Like, they're on the second floor. Where am I at?
Well, they're outside, so they're climbing up the outer wall towards the second floor, but because of the ice and a change of direction, they've not been able to actually reach the second floor from the
So
outside.
I'm on the second
There's also no, I think you were all on the ground floor, and you exited the main. There's like a main
Okay.
like double door entrance to the temple, so everybody's kind of like coming out. It's like a zoo entrance, you know. It's like very large, lots of like visitors, like tourists kind of come through. So it's a pretty heavily used entryway. And so you kind of exited through that, and you have this like spectacle. So I didn't know what Swiftly's response was to seeing the scene.
I think that Swiftly right now, she's not going to do it yet, but she's debating on pulling out her violin and like starting to play a tune to like the epicness of them climbing up the side of this building. But for now, she's just standing there awestruck with a leash in one hand and a violin in the other.
And what's at the end of the leash?
The end of the leash is the velociraptor, because according to city rules, I can't have my velociraptor wandering around. Apparently that's like a health hazard. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but
No, so
rules are rules.
nonchalant about it. At the end of the leash is a velociraptor. Not like at the end of the leash is my pet velociraptor.
He's my son. I
don't think
hatched
that's
him
how
from an egg.
Biology works.
It is. Don't have to be blood related. Raised him. Made him my own. Just jealous you don't have a velociraptor.
All right, so you don't actually play the violin, but you're contemplating doing so.
Contemplating. I have to
All
think
right.
about it. If it gets more epic, I might consider pulling out that violin.
So the priestess calls out again and says, "That's right, get down. What is the meaning of this? Why are you climbing on the temple?" And that's directed towards Rue and Dordre.
Rue points to Dordre, says, "I don't know. I was doing it because he was."
All right, and she just demands that you get down. This is a temple of God. Show some respect.
Rue shakes her head.
All right, and Kale?
Dordre is going to, I think he's just gonna, like, kind of look forward, and can he see the figure that's on the building?
No, it definitely disappeared from view after it launched the metallic bird attack.
I think Dordre looks down at his very, very, very small puncture, and he's irritated. So I think he's gonna continue climbing up. And I think he even looks down and says, "Hey, Rue, I'll beat you there." And then he kind of goes up.
All right. So he's not been able to gain a purchase. It's pretty much a vertical wall. At this point, I'd say he's starting to lose his grip. So he can continue to try climbing, or he's low enough to the ground he could probably actually jump down without injury.
Okay. I'm saying this as Kale, not as Dordre. Everyone but Nathan, what do you guys think I should do?
And
then I'm going to go get my tea real fast while you guys discuss.
What do you guys presume I should do while he's doing that?
Well, knowing Dordre, I'd say keep climbing. Knowing anybody with logic, they,
I mean, Dordre's
don't keep climbing.
Dordre's not dumb. I mean, he's got an intelligence of 12. I mean, he's like, his wisdom's 10. His common sense is just a little bit below. It's like on par, but still kind of low.
Yeah.
He is a risk taker, though. Yeah.
What's he decide to do?
I'm gonna make a acrobatics check. I'm guessing to keep on going straight up.
You already failed your acrobatics check for this scene.
Yes. But Can I make it again?
No.
Can I get advantage since I'm being smart?
Disadvantage for icy walls.
Okay. Wait. Does this mean I get a reroll entirely though? Do I get to reroll everything?
No.
Come on.
So did you jump down or?
No, I'm gonna continue going up. That's what I'm asking. Can I just reroll everything with disadvantage?
Okay. So you continue to go up. You fall. Ooh, I rolled a 6. So you take 6 bludgeoning damage from the fall, and you're like unceremoniously like land and like I think you're 6 hit points. Man, you're probably actually gonna be bruised. I don't know if your butt or your pride is bruised more.
Yeah, Rue.
Let me make a charisma check.
Kicks him lightly.
It's my butt. My butt hurts worse. I don't have any pride that's been hurt. I'm pretty confident in myself. I rolled a 19, so.
Yeah, Rue kicks him lightly and says, "I'm not with him," to the guard.
So she says once again, "I demand an answer. What is going on here? What's all this commotion? I'm about to call for the watch. Answer me."
I'm sorry. There was a figure on top of the building, and we figured if they're being rude and climbing the building, we should be able to be. Never mind. I'm just gonna walk off. I'm gonna stand up because I was talking from the ground, and then I'm gonna like go behind Alexis's tabaxi. And I don't know. Actually, no, I don't know Swiftly. Yeah, I don't know Swiftly, so I'm gonna kind of like look over, and I'm just gonna like pull out my lute and notice that you have something out, and I'm gonna like play some chords to try and
Hold
like
on.
recede.
So did you answer her or not? Or did you change your mind?
I begin to answer her, and then I back out of the conversation. She says, like, what's going on? And I say, oh, well, there was a man on top of there, and I thought that since he was breaking the rules, okay, never mind. And then I turn around and walk off.
Okay. What about the dwarves or Mouth or Rue or Sad? Any other comments, or is that the only comment?
Yeah, Malthor's gonna make his way to the front of the group to speak to this temple lady. And he's gonna say, "We've been hearing a lot of, let's say, commotion tied to various different organizations, and we're wondering if you had any sort of understanding of the situation."
All right, so she's getting kind of like multiple responses, and she kind of like looks up at the roof, and she's like, I'm not sure what situations you're referring to, but if Zim's gotten on top of the roof again, we're gonna have to get him down from there. He knows he's not allowed up there.
Well, that is a noble cause.
And she kind of frowns at you, and because she's a dragonborn, it looks like she's scowling, like baring her fangs, like she wants to like just bite you, like.
And Swiftly looks over and she offers to go climb up the wall to go get him because she's a cat.
Oh. And then she turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, much appreciated. Actually, he holds up in the attic sometimes, and we can just take the stairs up there. He didn't attack you, did he? He's been prone to attacking some of our guests. He's so meddlesome, and she seems like more annoyed at the idea that Nim is doing this again than that you were trying to climb the temple. So I don't know, Kale, if Georgia responds to her on that or not."
I think Dordre's ego is hurt, and he just kind of sits there silently. He like looks down at the ground and like kicks some dust, acting as if he's not part of the conversation.
Right. Does that tie into any of his personality traits, flaws, or bonds?
Let me see here. Does it?
You've taken like 7 hit points of damage, and you're also, I think, role-playing competition with Rue. So we'll go ahead and award inspiration to Dordre.
Thanks.
So I don't know how. I can't pass you a die. So if you want to just maybe mark it on your character sheet or something else. Oh, except that I accidentally passed you a D12.
Oh
so.
no! I now have Bardic Inspiration. Whoops! I'll do that for myself.
Bardic Inspiration is a D8.
At level 5? Oh yes, yes it is. Hang on. I don't don't have.
So she takes you guys inside the temple. It's full of all these like wondrous things. There's giant clock towers made out of like multiple types of wood, metal, like gears and that sort of thing. Flying machines with wings. There's little mechanical figurines of like dragons and turtles and like just little like clockwork things, just like moving around and that kind of stuff. There's like all kinds of different contraptions and inventions and uh, tubes and just things you don't even know what they are. And so as you're like passing through, she takes you down to a backside through a hallway, up some stairs, up another flight of stairs, and then down another corridor to a door, kind of like offset up high. And she says, "This is the door into the attic." And she kind of like leans in and looks closely, and she seems kind of like confused while she like staring at the door. So you guys are in the upper hallway in the third floor inside the temple now, and the priestess, I guess she would have introduced herself. Her name's Valletta, and she had you follow her upstairs. So can you guys go ahead and just kind of explain what your characters did? If anybody didn't follow her, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll assume you're all up there with her.
Swiftly played her violin on the way up, trying to like lighten the mood because she noticed how hurt Dordre was, and to like spare his pride, she played like a little tune.
And then
I have a violin.
Yeah. All right. So we'll give you some inspiration for that. And also, I think the Velociraptor is probably not allowed past
No,
like
I
indoors.
left him
So
downstairs.
one of the acolytes is kind of like holding it nervously at the entryway.
Well, inside, of course. I mean, it's winter. It can be cold.
Yeah. Inside the entryway there's like what do they call it, a foyer?
Foyer? A foyer?
Yes,
Okay.
But I think in this temple it's called a foyer.
Fancy.
They celebrate its existence.
Kale, I
That's
think you're
great.
muted if you're talking.
Yeah.
Okay. How about for your three characters, Kale?
Prince Ottigan and the princess, I think, will probably like stay back with the Velociraptor. I don't think they really care that much. I think Prince Ottigan just kind of like gazing into Luckface's eyes, and like she's just kind of blankly staring back. But Dordre is gonna head up there.
Okay, so Dordre and Swiftly are headed up.
Yes.
Zach, how about your three?
Mouther is definitely following close behind. Sad doesn't immediately follow, instead staying outside of the temple. I'd say eventually he does come in, but after doing some of his own prayer of his own kind. And then Rue is just kind of picking on Dordre the entire time.
Okay, so Rue, Malther, and Dordre and Swiftly are all heading upstairs, and the dwarves
Yes.
and the Kinku are remaining down below.
All right.
Okay, Valletta, as she kind of like leans back from looking at the door, she says, "I don't remember putting a lock on this door. We had a lock once upon a time, but we quit locking it. I think Nim is locked the door and entered from without. And so anybody nearby can see that the door is not like a full size like a door in a wall, but kind of like a half trap door, maybe like a meter squared. And there are some hinges, and then opposite the hinges is kind of like a handle, and then a little place for some rings for attaching a padlock. And there's a shiny padlock fastened, preventing the door from opening.
That's really weird. So padlocks exist in D&D. All right. I guess
Could
yeah,
Rue
sorry.
attempt to
do that.
lockpick the padlock?
Who does? Rue?
Rue? Yeah?
Okay. So you're gonna use the thieves tools.
Yep. That's a +8 to my roll.
Yeah, how do you have a +8?
Yeah.
She's
This
good at
is
her
a
job.
pretty new and high quality lock.
I mean,
and the DC will be 20 on that roll.
my Tabaxi has a +9 in persuasion.
Well, I got a 26.
Okay. So Rue steps forward and picks the lock. What does she do with the lock after she removes it? She kind of like unfastens it.
Puts it in her shoulder, or her bag.
Puts it in her shoulder, yeah.
Just sticks it in.
Yeah. It matches the lock
Opens her
pick.
shoulder up, yeah.
Okay.
That's
you can give me a sleight of hand check to see if anybody knows that you pocketed it.
Ooh.
9.
My
So
passive
probably.
Okay.
Do we all see it?
I think Valletta notices you like pocket it, and she kind of like looks at you, looks at your eyes, and then she looks back to the door and she opens it and opens the door. And she doesn't actually say anything, but she definitely noticed. She made eye contact. She knows you took it, but she didn't say anything.
The
Could I-
Tabaxi is slightly upset.
Could I look back, like, make eye contact with Valletta and intimidate her into not saying anything about it?
What are you gonna say that's intimidating?
I'm gonna give her a very stern look.
And do you like put shh?
No,
No,
it's
okay,
just
okay.
it's just a like, you say anything, I'll kill you kind of look.
Oh, you're gonna do eye daggers.
Padlock. Yeah, eye daggers. That's what
Okay,
we're gonna call 'em.
that'll be well, she's a priest in her own temple, so you can do an intimidation check, but it'll be a disadvantage.
Nice. Natural 20 +3 and 8 +3, so 11.
All right. Yeah, so we'll say that your 11 does not really intimidate her, but she did roll in that 20, so this is probably why she's kept her silent. So, anyways, we'll just carry on with the scene. She's actually blocking the door, leaning in and saying, Nim, where are you? And she's kind of like calling for Nim. I know you're in there.
When no one knows what to do. I think.
So a minute
I play
passes,
another merry little tune.
and you finally hear some like clanging, like metal and stuff, and objects flying around in the attic. And finally, this is not like a person. In fact, you're not even sure what to call it. Let me see if I can find a picture here for you.
Alive?
Yeah, is it alive?
It's definitely moving on
Is it-
its own.
Does it look dangerous?
Hmm.
I poke it with my finger. Well, I guess I probably couldn't do that.
It's like a metallic man person thing.
Is there like a strong smell in the room? I am a cat, so
Yeah, I can describe the odors here in a moment.
Real quick,
And
does
then-
it out? Oh, so it's Tin Man.
Oh, it's
off of Wizard of
yeah,
Oz.
but with
Okay.
a rapier.
It's bronze Tin
Times
Man
with
with a
Michael
rapier.
Jackson.
It's bronze Tin Man with a rapier.
We'll say that there's no rapier visible at the moment.
It's Jirachi as a Tin Man.
And unlike the one I showed you, this one has kind of like a blue and green kind of like robe and no hat. And it kind of like looks out or down, I guess, because it's up above you in the attic.
I think Dordre is gonna like look up, and then kind of like start to like peek his head over and like look up at the thing, but like get closer to it.
Okay. You notice now that Valletta is making little signs and gestures, and you realize that its face, there's no working jaw or mouth parts. It's actually got like the face is like one piece of like bronze or something, and it doesn't have any way to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
and it does have articulating fingers. Not five, maybe three or four. It's hard
Okay.
to tell up in like where the angle is, but you can
Uh-huh.
see they're kind of doing little gestures to each other.
Would we
Okay.
call the fingers gesticulating?
Yeah, definitely.
It has
All right.
gesticulators. Um, Dordre is gonna reach out his fingers towards the gesticulators, like kind of like a it's okay, come you can come down to me, kind of thing, but into the attic. So to everyone else, it just looks like he's just sticking his hand in the ceiling.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Any other actions from Mouth or Rue or Swiftly?
Mouther's gonna watch, preparing a firebolt just in case, because he doesn't actually know if this thing is violent or not. He's paranoid. Otherwise, Rue is comfortable with the situation.
I have a question. What's your arcane focus? Like, I'm just curious myself for like flavor in my own head. For Theater of the
Oh,
Mind.
it's actually a rat that has been trapped in amber, magical amber though.
Okay. Well, I mean,
So
like, ooh, ooh. So does like whenever
it
you're like,
glows
uh huh.
it glows a dim amber color.
Okay, that's really cool.
Like
Alrighty.
particularly amber.
Cool. Well, that's good. That's good. Food for thought.
Just imagine some really short fat man carrying around a rat inside amber.
He's not. He's not short or fat.
Wait.
Is he a
He's
dwarf?
short. No.
Now that I think about it, how big is the rat? Because it must be like this, like
I
this.
think it was shriveled up from death, wasn't it?
No, it's a normal plump rat. So I mean, he holds it
Plump.
like this.
So you're trying to get like a 5-pound chunk of mineral with a dead rat inside of it.
Is it like on a necklace around your neck, or are you just carrying it in a backpack?
He carries it in like a satchel.
You work
Oh,
out
that's no fun.
to impress people. You like work out with it. You're like, yeah, I work out. You're like sitting here like lifting
I
it.
think maybe when you cast spells, you like attach it to the end of your staff.
Point dead
Doesn't
rats
have-
at people.
He doesn't have a staff. He actually has all of his spells written down on the amber, like engraved into it. So it's, he like reads it. He's like, "Is that a 7?"
Okay.
You know.
All right. So,
So he holds it
returning
in
to
one
the
hand.
scene,
Yeah.
he's holding the amber and preparing to cast a spell, and you can see the priestess is just like just seems really angry, and she's like gesturing real fast, and finally she turns around and says, "All right, that's it." And she points, and you see there's a pair of acolytes that had followed you up, kind of like under priests, and she orders them up into there to take away all his tools, and she says, "Them's crossed the line." He says he got bored and created another nimble right, just like himself, and
Oh.
has unleashed it from the temple, and it's gone, and he's upset and causing mischief because his companion is gone that he created for himself.
Oh.
And so they kind of go in, and you can hear like all those cluttering sounds, and the Nimblewright kind of like scurried back into the attic, and they start like bringing out like wooden boxes of tools and things.
The poor boy just wants a friend or a wife.
There's also like half finished like contraptions, and it's clear that this magical metal man person, he's not like a full size man. He's like about the size of a gnome, and he clearly has been making things in the attic.
Are they cute?
Mouther. Are they cute?
That's my question.
That is a very important
Are the
question.
things he's making, are
Yeah.
they cute, Nathan?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So we'll say there's like a partially completed baby rabbit. There is something that looks like a birthday cake, and also there's like a gear covered kind of thing that might be some sort of clock, but it seems like it's inside out, so functions unknown. And they're also like dropping things. You can hear stuff like rolling, like ball bearings. It's just a proper workshop in the attic.
Perfect. Okay.
So Mouther's going to relax his spell, put his amber away, and he's going to ask the Valletta woman if if this nymph thing is alive. Nin, whatever his name is. Nymph.
Okay, yeah. Nim, N-I-M.
Nim.
Nim, like as in like the rats, like
Yeah, and that's
the movie.
N-Y-M. This is N-I-M. No relation.
Okay.
There's a lot of rats in this city.
She says that it was constructed in worship of Gond by one of the other. Well, she just says basically somebody left it here as like a gift to Gond long ago, and it's been more of a pain than a. It's one of those kind of like gifts to Gond that keeps on giving, and not in necessarily a positive way. And anyway, she says it's not alive. It's some sort of magical construct. Finest work from the Lantanese area, which some of you may know is a island of gnome inventors. Popular rumor is that's where gunpowder and firearms were invented, along with other things such as this creation.
All right. So he's gonna. Oh, sorry.
Okay, once you describe Malthur, then I'm also curious what Rue's doing, and then we can hit Dordre and Swiftly after that.
All right. And he's just gonna nod, and he's content with the situation as it is, as is Rue. So they're not really doing anything noticeably.
All right, Dordre.
I think Dordre is like kind of just like examining the little creations that he has, and like, is it safe to say that I can like grab one and hold it?
Yes, you like just kind of going inside, looking inside the attic to see what there is.
Yeah.
Okay. You find this like foot-long copper thing. It's got like a little handle and like a little like a trigger and like a paddle. It's got a bunch of gears and levers and things, and on the end it's got a little pointer with like a little baby umbrella on it. I'll show you a picture.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Right. And so you pick it up, and yeah, so you can kind of see what it looks like there. And while you're looking at it, you can see that Nim is pointing at what you're holding in your hands, and then he's like making his signs to Valletta, and she's like, and have this conversation, and she's like, he says he made that as a nimble right detector because he's going to go out and search for his friends.
A what detector?
They're called nimble rights.
Okay.
And it's a nimble right detector. He was going to go try and find his creation with it.
I squeeze it in a spot that looks like it's supposed to be squeezed.
Well, like you saw, I mentioned it had a trigger on the handle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm going to squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So beautifully.
It is a beautiful squeezing.
All right. So you do that, and nothing happens. And and so you can see when you do it, the Nimblewright's like making like shaking his head and like this or whatever. And he's like pointing out like down the hallway towards the stairs, and Valletta says, "Yeah, that won't work on him in here. It'll detect other Nimblewrights, and that if you get within like 500 feet of another Nimblewright, that it'll start to spin and whir and click. So
okay.
and that way you can kind of track it down."
Gotcha.
And
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, can I keep this?
She says, "Yeah, if there's another Nimblewright. You've seen what can happen with one inside the building. This is a Nimblewright made by like the best inventors of the Lantanese. He's made another one, and apparently it's fled. So this could actually cause damage to the reputation of the temple.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, if you would like to go out and recover the nimble right for us, the Temple of Gand here would be in your debt.
Is there only one other nimble right?
He says he only made one other. He's the only one we knew of his kind, and apparently he is intelligent enough to duplicate or make copies of himself, which is why we're removing all of his gears and contraptions so he can't make a third one. He says he's only made one other one, but it's possible he's lying.
I think I'd like to ask the nimble right that cannot speak common. I'm going to say, did you make any others? Other than other than that one.
It makes a gesture like this.
Oh, I look down at the girl and I say, what?
And so what you guys are calling a woman or a girl is a female dragonborn. So she says, no, he's insisting that no, he hasn't. Yeah, I'm pretty concerned about this. This could cause terrible reputation damage and possibly cost us some tourism. I'll pay you all, she thinks about it, 500 dragons. I'll pay 500 dragons if you'll destroy and bring me proof that you've found and destroyed the other nimble rights.
500 each or 500
together?
No.
Don't be ridiculous.
For a temple, not a
she kind of
cherry.
like counts you up, and she's like, that's more than enough.
Okay.
500 dragons is more than fair.
Is there anything else you want done?
I think you might have your hands full just tracking it down.
Oh, a challenge.
We gotta look through like the entire city.
I realize I'm sitting in the attic, so I'm gonna say I'll take it, and like from like in like an outer side, like if you're like coming in from the doorway, all you see is just like a hand, like just like a hand reaching down to shake your hand.
It's like. How about Maltharu or Sifri?
Wait, what did you say?
I'm curious with the other three characters if they have any other response.
Yeah. I will think of a thing while Swiftly speaks.
So, I actually have a question. What was Swiftly doing at the temple?
She was, curiosity got the best of her, and she was looking at the different contraptions and inventions.
So she's already seen these?
This one was up in the attic, so this one wasn't actually a display piece, the nimble right.
Okay.
But she has spent time looking at the main attractions on the main floor where all the tourists are, and was probably getting ready to leave right when all the commotion happened outside. So
does she know like the Draconic Mother, or like are they just acquaintances and they haven't known each other for very long?
No, I think it's just a priestess that's like kind of like a tour guide of the temple with her acolytes, and you might have talked with her, but you wouldn't have known her from before.
Okay. So Swiftly is a pretty loyal and good character, so she probably offers to go with the group separately, maybe not join the group, but to go to the group and help like the temple out, because that's something that she'd do. Okay. And she offers to do it for free.
Okay.
Ooh.
So more gold for the others.
She offers to do it for free. I didn't say that's what she's gonna do.
It's kind of like a sideways, snarly like smile that escapes from Rue's mouth.
Hey, would Rue just go ahead and just like claim it? She'd be like, okay, then I'll go and take your cut. So then Swiftly can't like go back on what she said.
Elaborate, Zach. What's going on?
That is the immediate response. Is great. That means I don't have to pay you too. She kind of like makes a gesture of like while she's speaking, she makes a gesture kind of like scooping the coins into a purse.
Swiftly puts her ears back and hisses and says, just don't get in my way.
Rue like pats the top of her head and like scratches a little.
Like pets.
That's all right, nice kitty.
Does she rub the fur in the direction that's soft, or in the direction where it like stands on end? Like
she gives her a noogie.
She does like one each way.
And I roll
starting
for
with
claw damage.
Oh, do you like bad at him? Or
Yes.
her? Well,
Yes.
because she's touching you, you can't miss, so there's no need to roll. You do one claw damage.
It's 1d4 minus 1.
Rue doesn't seem
I want to roll.
terribly affected.
It's a flesh wound.
I got a 2, so it'd be like 1 damage.
Just put a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's just a flesh.
All right.
Don't forget I have a velociraptor.
Anything from Malther then?
Malther is already walking downstairs and gesturing for the party to follow.
All right.
So I think we're. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna turn around before we leave, because we didn't ask this. I think Dordre is gonna say, where should we start?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's caused some trouble in the city, and there might be a starting place in one of the different wards. If it's as mischievous as its creator, he might be stirring up trouble. Maybe on the docks along the ships, or maybe it's trying to sneak into the palace. I don't know.
Oh,
But you've got the detector, so hopefully you can find it.
Yeah. I'm sure. I feel like I'm very confident in our people. Sure. So I think I'm gonna just go turn out and just like leave on that note.
I have a question. So
Question?
how good is Falling Feather's sense of smell?
Well, I just sent you his stats.
But I don't think there's anything on his smell.
Its perception is the senses like touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing.
Okay, so
And
it's 13.
sometimes those will be higher for a specific thing.
Yeah, it just says 13, and then just regular perception is +3.
Yeah, so it is actually proficient in perception,
This is your
but
velociraptor, right?
it doesn't have like a highly keen sense of smell necessarily.
And this
So I
is
can use Falling Feather as like a bloodhound, essentially.
Yeah, probably not. I think your
Unless it
best
was
bet
me.
is to use the detector as the bloodhound.
Okay. I think he'd be good at tracking blood.
could
That's
we-
about it.
Could we like tape the detector onto the Velociraptor?
no.
Yeah, there was like in the gift shop, you might have seen some sort of
Oh
weird.
my god.
No.
Well, when you go out, you can't actually go out the temple the way you came in. They have this whole side exit, and it's just lined with like gift shop stuff. There's like little feather-filled like cats and whatever inventions. Like you can turn the little key and it skittles around and stuff.
Are there any magic items in this gift shop?
How would you know if they're magic?
Are there items that look like they're magical, but they're just gimmicks?
They seem to be clockwork devices like spring wounds and that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
There may have been minor magics used to create them, but there's no like artifacts of power like glowing hammers or.
Is there like? Can I grab like a stopwatch? Are there any stopwatches so I can tell what time it is?
Yeah, there's probably a couple varieties of watches, clocks. I don't know if they're watches.
Oh,
like, there's definitely not a wrist-mounted version. These would be like the kind you would set on like a mantelpiece.
I kind of want to buy a clock just so I have something to tell the time, so I can just kind of just pull it out of my pocket and look at it like a map. What do you guys think? Think that's a good idea?
I think. Go ahead, Zach.
Malther is also going to buy a stopwatch, as is Rue.
Okay, there's no stopwatches. These are clockwork timekeeping devices, and they are not any of them set to any standards. So the increments of time marked on them, if there are markings, are unclear. Some of them might have 4 markings or 37 markings or no markings.
Well, Malther is buying one with NFL. One
so
marking,
I'll let you pick out one that suits your fancy, and you can draw it out on a piece of paper or something. And we can elaborate on those further. They cost 1 dragon a piece, so subtract a dragon or 10 silvers from your coin purses, and then you may add a clockwork uh, watch or clockwork clock
Clock.
to your inventory, so you can mark those down. Um,
Okay.
All right. Um,
I don't get one.
I was also gonna wonder. I
oh,
was
you
also gonna
change your
wonder.
mind.
I was also gonna look. I was also gonna wonder and see if there's any like +1 Scotch tape or something in this
Oh
gift
yeah,
shop.
yeah. You mentioned taping. So
Plus one magic marker.
yeah, there's this really wondrous hide, is what it's called. And the wondrous hide, um, sorry, wondrous hides plural, and it's like a thin strip, kind of like a leather strap for like barding for a horse or something. And but instead, it's one piece of the wondrous hide uh, is kind of like bumpy, and the other side is kind of like nettled or rough to the touch. And you can actually, when they touch, they stick together, and then when you tear them, it's like like peels apart and sticks on. Um, yeah, and we'll say it's maybe like 3 meters, 10 feet in length.
So it's reusable.
Yeah, so you like undo some of it, and then maybe one of the priests is trying to get another sale off of you, and demonstrates how you can use it to Velcro and non-Velcro things.
All right, I like the idea. We'll get some.
Okay, so this stuff is it's extra useful, so we'll call it 5 dragons.
All right,
Oof.
that I will buy. Or rather.
I think it's safe to assume, Zach, that literally our characters have been standing there in silence while Firetusk gazes into Luckface's eyes, while Sad is just kind of like just standing, like looking around in the sky, trying not to look at the awkward situation in front of him. Is that?
And it's not in total silence because the acolytes are trying to sell you things.
So they're
Oh,
just
look,
standing
it's on
there.
sale. It's been marked down from 40 dragons to 20 dragons. It's half price.
Prince
And
Ottigan.
I'm just like back here all like,
It looks like a standard umbrella.
I think Prince Ottigan would say, "Shush, I'm concentrating on the love of my life," and you just like a dead stare into Luckface's eyes. I think he has to do this at least 1 hour a day, or he kind of starts going crazy.
I think Luckface is stroking her beard and she's like, 20 dragons seems like a good price for an umbrella. Except she doesn't say it like that. She says it like, 20 umbrella.
Yeah.
Does the what's it called? Does the acolyte interpret that as 20 umbrellas?
20 umbrellas
No,
for
I'm
one dragon.
Anyways, you guys want to wrap up your purchasing and consider what to do next?
Yeah, I think Dordre's. She said something about going to the palace or going to the docks. Well, Dordre's had a pretty bad history of being a terrible jester, so I think Dordre is gonna say, "We best not go swim with the big fishes in the palace, and instead go take a look at the little ones in the docks." And he starts to kind of like walk toward whatever direction the docks would be.
And in our previous episode, I think when you guys interviewed the different witnesses, one of them described a figure on the rooftops that, now that you think back on it, could have been maybe the Nimblewright.
I think Dordre cups the what you said, the 3 beads of fireball that he has, right? Because there were 3 beads left.
2, I believe.
2 beads. Okay. I wrote it down on the character sheet, I believe, if you have it right there. But I think Dordre.
Just 2.
Okay. Okay. So Dordre, I think he's gonna like hold them. He still hasn't told anyone about them. I think he's gonna hold them, and I think he's gonna actually like walk back into the place, where the where the Tin Man and the Dragonborn lady were, and I think he's gonna walk back up the stairs and pull out these and say,
Well, they're back down. Everybody came back downstairs
Oh,
when you
okay.
guys went to leave.
then I think he's
So
gonna pull the
she's
girl
back
to
on
the
the main
side.
floor, like kind of like explaining one of the inventions to some elven tourists.
Okay. I think that he's gonna try and pull you off to the side, and say, "Hey, so I don't really want to tell anyone about this, but I found this at the scene of the explosion, which I'm sure you've heard about. I'm trying to investigate and see if maybe you know what this is." And he pulls out the 2 beads of fireball on the loose necklace.
Okay,
that
so
they were
she
hanging
kind of
on.
like drapes it from her clawed hand, and she's like, "Oh, this is dangerous." And she like passes it back to you, and she says, "Yeah, that shouldn't be in the temple. That should have been left outside. It could explode and damage the inventions here."
Oh, don't worry. I don't intend on throwing them or dropping them. Whoa! I explode the entire place. No, I'm gonna put it back in my pocket.
20 total decimation.
83 coppers worth of inventions blow up in an instant.
Everyone dies. Let's start a new campaign.
This is just a fundraising machine. The inventions are just all minor illusions.
It's literally the biggest scam possible. They just like create these things that just turn back to rock because it was alchemy.
It's not a scam, it's a museum.
These
That's
are
like-
price
What's the
artifacts.
Exactly. I could definitely see them making like virtual museums. We basically have to pay money just to, like read about stuff someday, or like you could like look at it in VR or whatever. I could see places charging money for that.
Wikipedia.
In case people don't want to get up and go somewhere like us, not meeting in person. So I believe that Dordre's gonna put it back in his pocket, and he's gonna say, "So you don't think that the what are they called again? The 10 people."
It's a nimble right.
Nimble, right? Okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't have to look it up again, or ask you again. And I believe that I'm going to. I think I'm going to say, and you don't think a nimble right could get a hold of one of these somehow?
We don't keep such around the temple, and nimble rights are not magicians or able to craft such magical devices themselves. Working with gears and contraptions seems to be what they're best suited for. Although somebody might have given them to it, I didn't hear about whatever explosion you're describing. So
okay.
I don't really know about that.
Well, right on the corner, off of what was the name of the streets, Nathan? Okay, whatever. I say the street names right off that corner. There was a big explosion that killed quite a few people.
Okay. I thought you meant where the temple was. You mean back?
Yeah, I'm talking about the big explosion that everyone was running away from.
I was like, I don't know what street the temple's on.
No, I'm talking about the explosion.
Yeah, it was in Troll Skull Alley.
Okay, often Troll Skull Alley. You know what that is. I mean, how could someone ever forget the street name?
She frowns. Yeah, I don't know every alley in this. It's like the biggest city anywhere.
It's like knowing New York City and every single street and anything that ever happened. Okay, well, yeah, down Troll Skull Alley. There was like this huge explosion that killed like 12 people or something. Yeah, I was there investigating. If I if I don't say so myself. But that's where I found these, and we're suspecting that it could be one of the nimble rights.
There are 4 elves staring angrily at you while their tour guide is being distracted.
Georgia hands him one of the beads of fireball and says, "When you're feeling lonely, throw this on the ground. It'll make your day a lot better."
Yeah, they definitely know.
He doesn't actually do it. He doesn't actually
She
do
comes
it.
up and takes over the tour guide. Like the tour, she already had it that day, so she has like a +8 in performance. She makes it into a show.
Okay,
It was
we'll
the
give you
best tour
some
ever given at the temple.
inspiration for that idea.
Do I get 2 inspiration?
Well, when I rolled it back over to its resting place and it stopped on a 1, so I think you got a cursed inspiration guy. So, but anyways, you can roll it later if you need it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 1 earlier, so I was just asking. Do I
Yeah.
have 2 now?
No, the one you have is cursed now.
Oh,
Actually, we can consult let's consult the plot twist cards.
Oh, okay, there we go.
okay.
Throw it in there.
I like the idea.
What did we get?
I
What
can't
is
read
that? What did that say?
Yeah,
just
I
say,
couldn't read it with the.
hilarious memory.
Hilarious memory.
that.
Yeah.
I remember the tour very hilariously and decided to reenact it. No, I'm kidding.
I
It's
think
not.
you might have a hilarious memory of a previous temple.
No,
about-
Oh,
we
she
don't
could
talk
not-
about
she-
that.
No.
Do you want to tell the viewers about the previous temple while I use the restroom?
So last year we went on a D&D campaign in Schultz.
Now, mind you, all of us were here.
Yes.
Zach was here. Alexis
There were
was.
also
Nathan
a
was.
few
I
other
was.
people that are not currently here that were in the group. I think there were 7 total, including Nathan as the DM.
Mhm.
And we went into this
As
temple
always.
with a puzzle. And the way this temple was set up is there were some swinging axes at the beginning because, you know, every temple needs swinging axes at the entrance. It's sort of like a rite of passage. And then past that, there was some panels on the floor and then a ledge that led up to a door towards the top of the ceiling. Now, each one of those panels, whenever you stepped on them for the first time, if it was the wrong pattern, like fire would come shooting out of the sides of the
Not
wall.
even for the first time. It was just any time you did it and it was the wrong panel.
Yeah.
I had a character named Shiku Shiguranini who was the best character I'd ever owned or created. And sorry,
And I
continue.
had
So-
Gara.
There were technically 6 of us, 7 with the DM, and swiftly cut her losses very early and decided it was stupid.
Oh, she didn't
because
take
we had
damage.
many-
She didn't even go in there. She just
No.
she walked in
I
and just
went
looked.
past the X's
and
and
then
then, I
yeah.
saw the stupidity going on top of the panels, and I was like, "Oh no!"
You know what?
and decided to
Maybe.
leave, and the entire team died on
No,
those.
not the entire team.
Thinking
No,
she
no,
could
no,
run
no,
in,
no, no.
thought it would be great to
3
go out
people.
blazing glory, just threw himself
two of
onto
us
the
died.
panels. and
Yeah.
killed
Yeah.
everybody.
Zach, are you sure it wasn't 3? I thought it was 3 people died.
No,
Well,
just 2.
How
It was
many?
Me
There were a
and,
couple people that died. It was Shiku.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Ethan's character died as well. Ethan, the younger Ethan, not the one that
And
plays
then,
with us.
and then Ty's character died, and then Colby's.
No, never
Colby's
mind.
died on the way back out.
No,
he
no,
went
but
to
not the
leave,
entire
and he
team.
misstepped and got hit by one of the swinging axes.
No, not the entire team died though.
No?
The entire team died,
Uh-uh.
except for myself
No,
and
Colby
one
did.
other player.
No.
No, Kobe's character didn't die, but this is
Yeah.
tangential to the actual.
Okay, sorry. Back.
actual-
Anyway,
back
for,
to our-
for all intents and purposes, Swiftly survived and is the only character to live to this day.
No.
All the other characters died in the temple or died shortly after.
No, because Carice was there the
No.
entire time and Carice lived through
Well, they're
it.
not here
No,
now.
Carice was never
Yeah,
there.
Carice is still alive.
Somewhere in the world.
Nice
I
try.
guess.
Carice was never there. Carice never went
Oh.
to Jolt.
That's
Well,
true.
Thanks a lot, Zach. Whatever.
It was Gara and Sad who are both still alive.
Yeah, it was Tomb of Annihilation. Nathan's holding up the
Nathan,
book.
your microphone is off.
Silence.
Yeah,
Silence.
the
please.
Tomb of Annihilation we ran a year ago, and we didn't even get to the Tomb of Annihilation. We had a side quest of Annihilation.
We didn't even make it through like a fourth of the story. We were all like
Man,
level
It
4.
it was brutal. That was the most characters I've ever killed in one trap as a DM.
It
And it
was.
happened in less than an
My
hour.
previous record was 2. I think we lost 3 or 4.
We lost 3
It
that
was-
time in that trap, and I
It
think
was
we.
3,
think-
and then the fourth one died on the way out, whoever that was.
I know Colby's character lived.
I can't remember his
He
name.
was an annoyance.
Well, I mean, it's fine. I think we should continue on the story
Yeah.
at hand.
So anyway, so she's having a
Wow.
flashback to this moment while she's giving
The tour.
Wait, hang on.
He actually,
Hang on. You said hilarious movie. Now it's funny to us as people, but I'm pretty sure she was traumatized by watching
no, she
people.
is. She's very traumatized.
Oh,
She's
okay, good. I was
maybe
gonna say.
down, so it's official.
So the plot twist card was just titled memory, but to us it's hilarious memory. There we go. uh,
Okay.
so yeah, so what's going on?
And yeah, and just for reference, it was Camp Righteous.
Oh, okay.
Camp Righteous, yeah.
Um.
Whew, okay.
Shiki
So-
Rani Hatachi Uji-san.
You
Kicha-san? What?
So you guys wrap up the tour. You finally escape the clutches of the gift shop trap and make all your will saves.
The money trap.
And you are now back on the streets of Waterdeep. Velociraptor in tow with a couple of
Dwarves.
trinkets and souvenirs, that sort of thing. And you also have now the unspinning nimble-right detector.
Okay.
You guys haven't really talked with Renier Neverember, the son of the previous Open Lord of Waterdeep, since the attack, the fireball attack that morning. So I think maybe on the way down here there have been some discussion of catching up with him. You also have another clue and a detector, so I'm not sure what you guys are thinking as far as where to go next. The sun is now getting low on the horizon, so you have maybe 1 or 2 hours of daylight left before nightfall.
I think Dordre says like, guys, maybe we should go to the docks or the palace. The lady did give us a couple tips on where they could be, on where the Nimblewright could be. Or, I mean, I don't want to be weird here. We might. I mean, what do you guys think about the fact that it might be ran off to the sewers?
Mouther actually pulls his what's it called, his collar a little, looks up at the sky a little nervously, and says, "You know, it's getting dark, guys. Maybe we should just turn in for the night."
Ooh,
It gets cold at night.
Ooh.
You can stop by my hotel.
Nathan, Dordre is absolutely fascinated by lunar phases, and I think he looks up at the sky. And what's the status of the moon right now?
Alexis, what is the status of the moon right now?
The status of the moon right now, well, it's just snowed, so I'm assuming it's very
Halloween's
cloudy.
over.
and you can't-
Halloween just
you
ended,
can't see
though.
the snow. You can't see the moon because it just snowed. It
So you
would be
can't see
super
it.
cloudy.
I think I mentioned it was overcast.
Okay.
It's starting to get cold.
We could go back to the Wayward Dice, or we could go into the sewers.
So you guys are in the seaward in the northwest region of the city. The docks are on the complete opposite side of town, so by the time you got there, the sun will probably be setting, and it's off to the bad part of town, so you'd be riding there at nightfall. What was the other location you mentioned? Oh, the palace. The palace isn't too far away. Gaining access would be difficult.
Yeah.
Not always open to the public, or even generally so.
Or ever.
And then the next, over in the northeast side of town, is where the Wayward Dice is.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, Rue
Where-
slams her fist into her hand and says, "You know, let's go find some of those darn investigation clues."
And
it's
also,
still
Neverember's manor is in this side of town, so he would actually be a little bit closer. It's a little out of the way, maybe a few city blocks, but it's kind of on the way back towards the Wayward Dice. So you know he's got a manor nearby as well. But then if you go south from there, after like a 30-minute walk, you can make it to the palace. So there's a couple options before dark. And Zach, which things are you referring to? Which clues?
The ones at the harbor.
Okay,
Or
that's
what was the I already forgot the word for it.
she mentioned the docks and the palace.
The docks.
Just as some ideas, she was like brainstorming ideas where he might cause mischief.
Nathan. How big is Waterdeep in like mileage?
maybe a mile square, 2 mile square, something like that.
Okay.
I'll see if there's an actual unit
Okay.
of measure. It's the biggest city there is.
Actually, if you can get cubic, is that a possibility or no?
No, I only
Cubic
have it.
I know, up and down as well. Well, see, I was thinking, or Dordre's thinking, he could just sprint or like ride a horse, like throughout the city until the thing goes off, and then he knows he's within 500 feet.
Okay.
That's thinking there.
There's just 500
Is it
feet
smart
will
enough
cover
for
whatever
that?
city block you're in, and maybe the next neighboring one, and there's hundreds of city blocks.
So it would be a pretty big
And-
journey.
And hundreds of people too per city block.
Yes, but only one.
I mean, so you can start
Really?
doing like a grid or whatever. What's that, Zach?
Do we have a tinkerer at the Wayward Dice? Somebody who works with
Ooh,
these
do we?
kinds of items?
Yeah,
I
any
don't
kind
think
of
there's
gnomes.
any gnomes or tinkerers. The closest you have is the pair of dwarves that are currently with you.
One of them is just kind of
What about-
drooling, and the other one's being really weird.
What about the Kinku and their abilities to perfectly mimic
Ooh.
or forge anything?
Maybe.
mostly
What are
writing.
you wanting to accomplish? I'm not quite grasping your meaning.
Create copies of this
Device.
finder item. Device, boy.
Oh, the Nimblerite locator.
Yeah. The 500 feet thing.
Okay, so like you want to like mass produce it. And...
Put it in a factory, sell hundreds of them.
Okay. Have
Have you lost your Nimblewright?
You can buy it for
Number
two.
is not legal in the following
Nathan,
regions.
Nathan, turn the Wayward Dice into just a mass production factory that just sells them directly to me.
You notice a small USB-sized attachment on the side of it that if you puff on it, it like creates clouds of smoke.
I call this the mineral.
It's kind of gem colored, so you
That's
decided to call it.
that's what I'm
a
saying.
gem.
Shiny.
A gem instead. Okay, see, I was saying mineral instead of a jewel. It's a gem.
Is it shiny?
No, just called a gem. I think.
It's bronze colored, so it reflects light.
Ah, yes.
It wouldn't be too interesting then.
Some might find synonyms of the word relatable to the real world, but there's no connection. I don't assure you.
This is what's the thing that always follows video games? Any sort of resemblance to the
Real, like a
Person.
disclaimer, be like,
Real-
by the way, we're not trying to
Yeah.
reference the real world.
Just like a gaming advertisement, like not actual game footage.
Session 0, disclaimer, not actual game footage.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? The hour or so of daylight you have left.
I
You
think
turn to the Wayward Dice. You could come up with something that hasn't been mentioned yet. You could try and find the manor of Renar Neverember,
Mhm.
the palace, the docks, the sewers I've already mentioned.
How
Church
long?
grid.
How long has Swiftly been in town? Like, has she already gotten a place to sleep, or is this her first day?
No, she's probably been here for a few 10 days, so she's probably been staying at some kind of grubby
And she's
inn
kind of rich.
and gotten some like maybe like a flea infestation or something that she's a little ashamed of.
Oh, gross. I think Dordre tries to
but-
sing the fleas away. Please,
Uh,
please go away. Come again another day.
Swiftly definitely is not a fan of the cold coming from the jungle, so she's definitely going to be in favor of turning in for the night, or at least going somewhere that includes being indoors,
Okay.
which
Zach,
is
how
also
about-
favorable for the raptor.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Mouther is he probably definitely notices Swiftly's aversion to this colder environment, and says, it is getting very late. I think we should all retire to our separate rooms.
The
We-
Wayward Dice?
We own a business, the Wayward Dice, that does offer a board. Would you like to join us,
Oh, crap.
Miss Person?
Will I be staying?
We don't
at
have
that-
it. We haven't gotten your name. We just accepted you as just someone that's been there the entire time.
I'm pretty sure she
No.
introduced herself on the way up to the attic earlier.
How
He's
did
not
she
good with
introduce
names.
herself?
Hmm?
How did she introduce herself?
Well, of course, she goes to rub her face on probably Rue before their argument. And what would Rue do to having a cat's face suddenly rub against her? Like,
but a human cat.
yes.
Love her, protect her, and pet her. Rue is a very loving person.
Until
Really?
they fight,
Liar.
they got in a fight.
She doesn't think it was,
Oh.
it was being friendly.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, beforehand, and then, then
And then it went south.
yeah, then that qualm, and then it just went like.
Zach, give me a sleight of
No,
hand
no.
check.
I forget where my. I have.
What is he sleight of handing?
That's what I'm wondering, but I guess we'll see.
Well,
we'll
you
see.
didn't notice the coins that you lost when you rubbed on and like hugged and whatever.
Swiftly
the-
has very high perception.
We'll see.
Very high
We'll
perception.
we'll see.
That would actually be a 9, but Rue's not going to steal any cat.
Oh,
You have my inspiration. Use it.
With like passive perception.
Use my inspiration, Zach. Zach, use my
I think
inspiration.
you just
Get
feel
advantage.
the half orcs like kind of like palms and like fondles your like coin sack, and like can feel how much gold is like in your coin sack, and you kind of like lay a palm on it's like kind of like a hand holding thing.
It's like oh, I know that
At
you're
the
doing
moment.
this.
Swiftly would be so
hang on. So it's kind of like whenever like
violating.
it's like whenever someone like puts your arm around them in the movie theater and you like grab onto their hand, you're like, oh yeah, sure, okay, yeah, like you just
I
kind
think
of
it's
like.
more when you both
ease
go into the
away.
same like popcorn at the same time.
Oh, so it's more
Oh,
romantic.
We're both.
Oh,
We're actually both reaching for a coin purse. Each
Just the
other's
same
coin
way.
purses.
And
Coin
so
purse.
when her paw goes over your hand, you can just feel like the retracted claws just kind of come out and just kind of like grip your skin.
Ooh, it's
Like, oh, were you fondling my coin purse?
But Rue isn't fondling the coin purse.
and back
She
to
was
the
taken by
world.
surprise
Oh,
by the sudden love.
but what
and
about
respond
Malthar?
positively.
Malthar probably would have
Wait,
been behind them,
hang on.
reaching for it.
Hang on, real quick, Alexis. Where
Oh,
is
there's
the
a good
coin
guy.
purse on the tabaxi? Like, what part of the body is like the
So
She's
like
got
her
mul-
violin
multiple.
and her lute are on her back, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna assume because she has a leather belt that it would just be hanging off to the left side of her belt.
Okay. So it's like on her
Like,
hip,
she
like.
has so much gold. She
Okay.
actually has 2 coin pouches, like one on each side.
Yeah,
So it's
to
just
make it
like you. Like, hey there. Okay.
Kind of like saddlebags on a horse or whatever.
Yeah.
There's an analogy in there
That house.
somewhere. So,
All right. I guess we're going back.
I don't think Rue would immediately go for another person's saddlebags.
okay.
I was gonna ask you, Zach. I guess.
She's not that forward.
So Malthor was one of the people that signed the paper, right?
Yeah, Malthor is the only one currently.
So
here
in a
to sign the
sense, you're our boss.
paper. Oh yeah, totally.
Cause okay. So I guess Dordre probably holds like a bit of respect toward you. I mean he respects everyone mutually, but he kind of disrespects them in his own way by like trying to be better than them. But I don't think he does it with Malthor because I don't think he wants to get like fired.
Let's not neglect the dwarf prince. What is his thought?
Oh, I mean he definitely acts like he's better than everyone. He's very entitled.
No. I mean, as far as what to do, we
With
need
the
to
cold.
keep going. Like,
Oh, I think he's just like, I think we can go anywhere because we're strong, and okay, let's go find that clockwork
Swiftly
tonight.
says he's so stupid and walks past him and towards the city.
Dordre definitely speeds up and walks alongside Swiftly and is like, yeah, he is.
Who's stupid? wasn't paying attention, and I
the
just got
Prince Ottigan.
ah.
Fire Tusk is
Yeah.
me hunger.
Right.
Yes.
So on the way
He's
back to the Wayward Dice, you've got this strap contraption. I think you strapped it to the Velociraptor, right?
yes.
Begrudgingly, much
Mhm.
begrudgingly to Swift.
So it does not roll or spin at all on the way back, and you arrive back to the Wayward Dice. It's about less than an hour until nightfall now when you guys make your way safely back.
Mouther shakes hands with all of his clientele and quickly retires to his bedroom.
Swiftly would not shake his
quarter.
hand.
Mouther shakes her hand.
So before that happens though, we'll say since it's been cold, you guys warm up by the fire and actually like have an evening meal. And while you're eating and drinking, Renner Neverember actually pays you guys a visit and walks in and says hello.
Who does
Swiftly,
this?
you've not met him before.
Who does this?
Rainer Neverember,
Never
the son
Oh.
of the Open Lord
Okay,
that you
yeah.
guys saved in the warehouse.
Malther is the only person who's met him. Unless you want us to roleplay other characters that are in the Wayward Dice.
Were the well, yeah, I mean all the characters in the Wayward Dice at the moment, except for the ones in the Halloween adventure.
You've been Jurassic.
Okay.
I guess
yeah,
Sad is back.
Jurassic
Never mind,
is
they're-
there.
Yeah, they're all back. That was
The
a
anime
comment this time.
character.
Oh, okay. I was actually gonna say Nathan. Dordre is gonna be like sitting down, and I think he recognizes him because Dordre's been in Waterdeep quite a bit. Would that make sense for Dordre to recognize Neverember?
Well, and he's come by and visited before. The company saved his life, so he probably comes in once or twice every 10 days.
Okay. I think Dordre like walks in and he says, "Oh, my lord, what are you doing here?" Like kind of like nervous for whatever reason.
Okay.
Like royalty, I think he's super anxious around royalty. Like he's gonna mess up.
Well, I just heard some rumors, and like something about the Troll Skull Alley, and I knew the Wayward Dice was here, and I didn't know if something had happened.
There was an explosion outside. But we're just trying to figure out, I guess, what happened, and we're also looking for this this creature thing, more like a clockwork, I guess, called a Nimblewright.
That's odd. So you said there's an explosion? Like, did it hit the building or inside the building somewhere in here?
In the middle of the street, just down the road.
And he kind of like goes over and looks out the window and sees some of the damage. He's like, "Oh my, that's much larger than I thought. Was anyone injured?"
Yes. My friends actually, halflings. Finn, Felicia, Fusa, and Forbon. They were killed.
Rue
It's hard to say.
immediately nudges Dodore out of the way and says, welcome to the Wayward Dice.
Thank you. So three halflings that were killed this day. That is most disturbing.
Four, and many others as well.
What?
Yeah, someone from the one faction that has a snake. Kale can't remember, but Dordre does.
Centarum.
The Zentarum.
Okay. And then also there was the guy that was interviewed, the dead gnome that had been interviewed in the other temple.
Oh
as
yeah.
Well, that was the main one.
Well,
that
the
was,
prince. The prince saw that. Only the prince
Yeah.
and the fire and what's her name saw that.
Yeah. So he's in there eating, so he would know about that.
Oh yeah,
actually.
yeah. He probably would explain. I'd say he explains.
He explains the whole speak with dead thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and he talks
Word
about
for
the
word.
stone of Golor.
Oh. All right. Well, at the mention of the stone, which Pete already told you about, and Alexis, I don't know if we've told you, but the stone of Golor. Well, I'll just explain it. You mentioned the gnome who had died being a victim or a target of the Speak with Dead spell, and also the other two Zentarum agents who were also killed, and the Stone of Golor. And you can tell that Rainer's kind of like thinking. You can see his mind kind of working, and he says, When the Lords of Waterdeep ousted my father, I thought his long dark shadow had finally gone for good. Truth is, I would nothing to do with my father. The fact that there's explosions in the streets, halflings dying, story of his life. I'm embarrassed of my name, to be honest. But still, his spies, they hound me. I've had no rest, no sleep.
Well,
You rescued me. You know, I was fleeing for my life already.
yeah. Well, Malther, if you don't mind if I talk to you real quick, aside here? Give us 1 second,
Malthor's in his quarters.
Mr. Neverember. Oh,
You want me to
Malthor's just
pause
gone.
the dialogue box?
Yes. Yes. I think Dordre sprints into Malthor. Sprints into Malthor. I think he sprints over to where Malthor is, and he says,
Let's keep this PG, please.
I think he runs up to Malthor and he says,
Just like the lock goes in his shoulder.
I think he says, "Pardon my interruption, but Sir Neverember's here, and I would like to request that we could offer him housing if he needs to stay anytime." Or
About what time is it right now, Nathan?
I just wanted to point out that previously I mentioned that you guys were walking past his large manor house where he lives.
Yep. I still want to offer housing.
Yeah. The time, it's probably 20 to 30 minutes until the sun is fully set. So this is like the sunset time.
Mm-hmm. Now, he showed up at the Wayward Dice, right?
It's definitely less than spectacular because it's overcast. So it's the winter.
Can we tell if what? So okay. Well, regardless, I think Dordre is going to ask Malther, if he ever needs to stay somewhere, can he come here for free?
Okay. He'll like accept your offer for a future time, but indicate that he currently has.
He's very well off.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, but I am very well off.
I'm richer than 3 of these buildings.
In fact, it's more insulting that you offer it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So he says, "I wonder about this gnome. One of the spies that was following me was a gnome. His name was Dalakar. He'd been watching me for many months, and about 10 days ago, he quit shadowing me. I haven't seen him since. I don't know what's happened to him. My father didn't trust people, but that gnome was like his right-hand gnome. And now he's gone. So I don't know if he's gone to report to my father. Perhaps he's died, actually."
I have a question. If we were to try and get information for you, do we have your permission to spy on your father?
Trip to Neverwinter.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want anything to do with him. In fact, I just wish he'd leave me alone and quit sending agents my way. I even went so far as to the scoundrels. I tracked down some of Dalakar's friends, and I persuaded them with coin. Truth be told, they said he was on a special mission to recover the Stone of Golar. And he was afraid that the Xanathar's Thieves Guild and the Zentarum were actually going to catch up with him. He had actually, they say that he actually had shown them the stone. I don't know if they're lying or not. They're not to be trusted. But they had no reason to lie that I can know. But they say that he actually had the stone and in his possession. I fear he's died and it's fallen to the hands of one of those two groups that are fighting in the streets.
Okay.
And Alexis, just for your own knowledge as a player, not for Swiftly, the Stone of Golar, the mission we're playing, the so-called Dragon Heist. Dragon is slang for a gold piece in Waterdeep, and so there's a 5,000, 5 million. There's rumor of a large hoard of gold coins in the city, and the Stone of Golor is rumored to be the key that reveals where the hoard is to be found. So there's been fighting in the streets trying to find this thing and find the gold.
It's
That's
most
the
likely
adventure.
that Swiftly came here for that reason. She does
Oh,
like gold,
treasure hunter.
even though she said she didn't want it earlier, because she was being nice.
Mhm.
And as a cat, she always has ulterior motives. I think she was so confident in herself, she didn't need that donation because she knew she was already gonna get that large sum of gold.
Oh.
She only plays to win.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's that,
Rue
Zach?
comes up. Rue comes up to Neverember. He says, "You know, I've heard about this spy problem you have. For a little bit of gold, I could take care of them for you, or at
Take care of
least
whom?
watch your back. The spies.
Okay. Well, the main spy was the gnome, and he's quit following me now. In fact, after my kidnapping, when you rescued me, he he came and spoke with me, and he actually asked me all about you in the Wayward Dice. Uh, and in fact, I think he was being spied upon as well, and he was so concerned for his safety. Um, he seemed quite intrigued by my description of you and your prowess. I believe he was going to attempt to deliver the stone to you all to return to my father in Everwinter. But he's not been seen or heard from since.
um,
I fear the worst
um,
or
I,
the best.
I do have to say, in the explosion there was a gnome, and that's who was talking about the Stone of Golor. He said he had it, and that he was delivering it to someone. In fact, your story ties up. Oh, shoot. Prince Audion. Sorry, excuse my voice being high pitched. Uh, Dordre, what are you doing here? Yes. This lines up exactly with the gnome that died. He said he was sending it. He was sending the Stone of Golor to a group of people, and I believe that group of people was me. Uh, so I believe that I'm supposed to have the Stone of Golor. And yes, my princess and I and everybody else here um, deserves that gold that we've earned hard and well. Yes. So, my question is who might have tried to take in the stone, or at least who could have known about it?
Rue interjects with, "Well, literally anybody in the town."
Anybody in a 5 million person city.
You talking about
mean,
who would have taken the stone?
Swiftly came from Jolt.
Well, who would have known about the stone?
Oh, well, the Zentarum and the Xanathar Thieves Guild have been killing each other in the streets trying to find it and track it down. And the gnome had come up with it, but then he apparently was killed in the fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you guys mention anything about the fleeing person that fled on foot?
Oh, yes. Oh, wait, Georgia says, there was someone running away. There was someone running away from the scene of the
Well,
accident.
now that you mention it,
Well, now that I think about this voice in my head that says something.
You jogged your
Yeah.
memory.
Some disembodied narrator voice came
God-
down from above. Don't you remember this
the
one?
bunny god makes a grand return.
Wait, did you mention this to him?
Yeah.
I miss
Okay.
the bunny god.
So he says, "Well, let me see what I can do. I've got some friends who are good at finding out information, and I'll talk with them and maybe meet up with you tomorrow." And after a few more pleasantries, he basically prepares to leave.
I think Dordre says, Ba-da-ba-bum. Do you
loving
mind? Do you mind if I, if me and my tabaxi friend sing a song for you?
It's been a dark day. This is ill news. I could use with some lightening of the soul. And he grabs a tankard of cider and kicks back by the hearth while you entertain us and regale us with
All right.
song and dance.
I think that Dordre points at this backseat and says, "Kick it off." Even though he already hit like even though he already like strummed his lute, he tells you to kick it off, which makes almost no sense.
Are you getting ready to play something, Alexis?
That's what she's doing, I believe.
Can't hear it.
I can't hear it either.
There you go. You go. Just be happy.
All right, Kale, take it away.
Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. There once was a boy who danced in the street. He said, "Oh no, look up, there's a fireball, it's gonna blow my feet." Then he looked down and said, "Oh no, I'm dead, whoops-a-doo. I found the stone of Golor and I didn't deliver it to you." I believe
he kind of like, yay. And there's like, it's obviously polite because no one else clapped, but
It was because he ruined my beautiful playing.
I'm such a good rapper. Thank you.
In the far back, your
there's a proper way to do everything.
Wait, Nathan, can I at least make a performance check to see like what? Come, please. I've only made to make one roll today, and it was a fail. Okay, I can't. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that with advantage since I rolled a 5. Okay, and then I rolled a 2. Okay, so 13. So 5 plus 8.
So yeah, no matter what, in the far back there's a loud clapping as
I got a
Breeze
24.
So your playing was awesome, and my steps.
Apparently,
tipping point.
Yeah, I think you had too much cider, so the
I think
rap
that he
violin duo, the violin was a success, but the white guy rapping was kind of.
I think it was just that like he was so put off by how talented that I was that it made him nervous.
I can never
and
keep
it
up
just
with her.
Overwhelmed him.
I've met my match and been surpassed.
Exactly.
She's more of a bard than I am.
True artist right here.
Oh man.
I even have a box of buttons to prove it.
Dordre is extremely insecure because he can play almost any instrument, but he definitely cannot play he can definitely not play violin. He's like sitting here like just like thinking to himself like, wait, what? Someone's better than me?
And then she pulls out harmonica, like does like a nat 20.
You did it. Excuse me, DM. I'm gonna go and take that nat 20. Thank you.
The nat 20 is the latest meter, and there's also even a verse that goes along with it.
Wait, Nathan.
Actually,
each line is 20 syllables.
Nathan, I have a question. Since it's the Wayward Dice, can we please sell like dice sets? And can we please?
8,
Can we
so
please?
I got a 26 on that harmonica.
Can we please also, Nathan? Is there some way we can have this like extremely like strong drink that's called the Nat 20? Please.
Possibly. Once you open for business, first you'll have to like make repairs and take care of things and arrange a dice supplier and
win the lottery.
And
win the lottery.
And I petitioned for Gerasi to be like the manager of like the gambling corner.
We've already figured that out. Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, that's definitely all the way through.
That's been the plan all along.
So the next morning, Renier returns, and he said some of his contacts had looked into the rumors you shared with him, and they mentioned that the person that had fled was a known like member of the Zentarum, who they've been keeping eyes on, and they actually had tracked him. And the guy's name is Floxen. They don't know if it's his alias or if it's real name, but he goes by Floxen. Okay, and he's like a Zentarum agent. Okay, so
Did you just see it?
I'm sorry. One of our viewers clipped the rap sesh.
It's so good.
And I haven't listened. I'm not gonna listen to it until the stream's over, but I'm pretty
it's
confident
good.
that it's awesome.
It's so good.
Okay.
Is there a way to feature it on the stream right now?
Yes.
I could probably try, but it would look really bad, so I'd rather not.
Okay, maybe we can prep something and feature
Well,
it next week.
well, it's saved as a clip. We could just save it permanently, and it'll stay here forever and ever and ever
That's
and
what
ever.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
Okay.
Beautiful.
that's for sure what we need
Is
to
it
do.
just linked in the chat?
Yeah, it is. It's linked in the chat. Oh no.
So in the morning,
it's all gone now.
Therese Couture is playing the most beautiful flute songs,
Can I pull it up?
which is
Okay.
great because he's a masterful work.
In addition to finding out the name, these agents have actually, besides keeping tabs on the war in the streets, they have found out that in the North Ward, where you guys are, that he was seen entering one of the large villas of a noble family, and hasn't been seen exiting that villa. The villa belongs to the Growlhund family. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the City Watch was involved because he was limping and bleeding and leaving a trail of blood, and so somebody had reported his suspicious behavior to the City Watch, and then he had entered into the Growlhund villa, essentially. And finally, some City Watch members had been dispatched to investigate the scene and spoken to Lord Growlhund. But because he's a nobleman, there was really no investigation or any of that sort of thing. He basically told them everything was fine, not to worry about it. And they didn't really have any proof or anything, so that's where things are left. That was the information that Rainier was able to find out from his contacts.
Okay.
And the manor is actually not that far away from you guys. It's maybe half a dozen city blocks away.
Okay. Well, we're off to a new start today. Hey, folks. What a great night that was.
It's probably a good time to stop and pick up next time, so you guys can select a party to pursue the next lead to the Growlhund Villa tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, do we want to attempt to, while we wrap up, play the submission from a viewer live during the stream?
I can't
Or is that gonna be too
do
complicated?
that because it's not on my computer. Because I didn't have my stream pulled up on this computer, so I can't go back and look at it.
I had shut mine
Sorry.
down earlier. So.
But thankfully, this saved as a clip. There's just for anyone watching. There's a
maybe
beautiful
we'll just throw it up on
rap
YouTube
session.
if
Yes,
the person doesn't hear.
musical
It
session.
is amazing. It's a beautiful.
It was a beautiful
Wayward
moment of
bar.
roleplay.
Yes, agreed. It wasn't even wordplay. It was also just musical, and it's some of the best things I've heard in a very, very long time.
We can start playing up the fine arts in here. So we had rap, we had violin. It sounds like there's some harmonica in the works. And what was Therese doing, Zach?
He plays the flute.
He plays the flute. Okay.
Well,
Was he-
actually, so my tabaxi, she has. Okay, let me find. I have a lot of instruments. I have a lute, a harmonica, a violin, a flute, and a tambourine.
A flute, a violin, tambourine. You should definitely anytime we
A
have
lute.
like a lute. Sorry.
lute
Anytime we
and a
like
flute.
any
I have both.
anytime we head out, I think you should definitely just like hand them out to everyone. Like it's like here's your papers, class. Here are your instruments, party. And like you make us play music with you as we travel and venture.
Of course.
Like you're like I'm
gonna
rich.
get-
I do what I
I
want.
need to get entertainment.
All right. So your homework for tonight is to write songs and poetry to regale the masses in tomorrow night's session.
It has
I
to.
can do that.
It has to compare
Okay.
well with those of famous artists.
Is everyone free for tomorrow night?
Yes,
Yes,
I am.
Maybe.
Okay, we got a maybe. All right. And so, Kale, do you want to do a debrief like we had before?
Yeah. I'd like to do a debrief.
Did I
Definitely.
miss something?
Oh, did
What's funny, Alexis?
The chat. He's like,
Oh.
you guys need a bag full of plastic recorders.
Oh man, we should
I am
supply
I am a
recorders.
boss at the recorder.
Hey,
Not a
excuse me.
lie. I can play Star
I
Wars.
got my black belt in recorders in sixth
So
grade.
did I.
I only write poetry.
Nathan
You do
just does
watercolor
wordplay and
art.
puns.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll do some art.
All right. Well, yeah. Debrief. So I really enjoyed the session. I feel like we had amazing role play. But I thought about this like halfway through the stream. Literally, what we did was we walked into a building, talked to someone, walked a couple blocks, and then went to bed. Like that was our entire 2 hour session. To sum it up.
We get progress done here.
Yeah. I just thought it was super funny. I mean, I love it though. I love it. I mean, that's the awesome part about D&D. You can go super fast, you go super slow. Just whatever pace you guys set.
If we were just doing like all the combat stuff in this adventure, it would probably have ended by now. So I'm actually enjoying. I thought we would have ended before the other book got here. So at the rate we're going, we'll probably still be searching for gold and nimble rights and stuff.
We'll probably, yeah, we won't even leave the Wayward Dice to go
yeah. So our long-term plans is that the Wayward Dice is a wagering house, and it will people there will place bets on the success or failure of adventuring companies that go out from the adventuring hub, so to speak. And some of them will probably be searching for the lost gold of the Dragon Heist, and some of them will be venturing into Undermountain, or like with our Halloween episode, going off into other side adventures. So we have an adventuring hub with multiple parties where we can bet on things. We're still working out how to include the audience in the wagering on success. I think it's gonna be like a running joke. And currently we're playing the Dragon Heist adventure, and so tomorrow night we'll pick up in Growlhund Villa or whatever else the party decides to do. Zach, you got any debrief comments session?
I really enjoyed the different characters. I didn't really get to use Sad effectively at all because we were in the building the entire time. I do the the binary nature of Malthor because he's very calm, cool, and collected while also being extremely socially awkward and also being very specific about getting to bed on time. Goldfish.
That's free advertisement. You should make them
Catnip
pay for it
boxing.
instead. You should make them pay us for it instead.
Yeah, obviously. Goldfish, if you're watching this, we will accept a contract where we put Goldfish over all of our streams for about $1,000.
Bigger than my head.
Yes, I will.
That was on the last shelf on the way out of the gift shop.
Yeah, I will literally like get Goldfish like stickers all over my face if someone sponsors us. All right, I guess
+3 magic Goldfish. Yes.
Okay, Alexis, what are your thoughts on how the session went and how you liked it and just everything in general?
Well, my musical session was pretty dope.
Our, not your.
It was mine.
I think her session was dirt.
It was a one Tabaxi show from her perspective. That was Alexis's perspective.
I think honestly, I really enjoyed it. I was a little upset because I forgot what voice I used for Swiftly for my last session, so I'll probably have to work on that. I really didn't have a lot of heads up before this because I didn't know we were doing it today. I thought it was Saturday. So tomorrow I hope to come back more prepared than I was, and maybe do a little bit better role playing than I would have liked.
I missed your bard.
Russian.
It's been a year, so I was really wondering if tonight's session would come together because of the technical hurdles. Zach was able to assemble an entire studio and come up with arrangements, so there was a lot of technological prowess occurring in a small amount of time tonight to make this possible. And Kale, thank you for getting all this stuff sorted. Go ahead, Zach.
If you look behind me, you will see I believe it's a $17,000 computer with 3 monitors playing production level quality equipment that I have had to rig up to my computer using Ethernet cords because I don't own a webcam, and I figured it'd be easier to do
You have a
this.
$17,000 computer, but you don't have a webcam.
It's not
Uh,
his computer.
First world problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's personal problem.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Look, when your father owns a television company, it's pretty easy to get this kind of quality stuff.
Yeah. So to clarify, Zach literally has a television quality camera pointed right at his face right now.
Yeah, it's if you want to Google it, it's a JVC 750, and by God, is it some good stuff whenever it's not 12 o'clock in your own house.
Yeah. So,
And for whatever reason, sorry,
go for it.
yeah, for whatever reason, the green circled one back there, I don't know if you can really tell, the second video that's moving, that is Snowmobile Hill Climb competitive video that's
Oh,
playing.
yeah, I see the snowmobile now.
Okay.
I
To
saw
clarify, your camera that's pointing at your face is a $7,695 camera.
Yeah.
To put a
And
number to
that
it.
got
You
that-
know what smiles back at that?
I felt
Both
guilty
things.
for buying a $50 webcam.
And I'm using a laptop.
Yeah, I'm just using my laptop. It cost $500 3 years
Alright.
ago.
So,
Alright.
as far as the session, we cannot seem to escape role play. It's in our blood.
My
we-
life is
We
just
were
role
hoping
play.
to
To get
do a lot more
further.
dungeon crawling.
But
so
that's
anyway,
okay.
This isn't really a dungeon crawling adventure, so it is actually a big heist, dragon heist, find a buried treasure or whatever. So I'm ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Dale,
I
final
agree.
comments? You want to take us out?
My final comments are, wow, that was pretty cool. Also, goldfish, yeah. But really, guys, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, everyone, for joining this stream. Yeah, Nathan?
And tomorrow night, Central Time, shoot for around between 9 and 10 start time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Depends if we get ourselves together.
See you guys tomorrow.
All right. Have a good
Sponsor
night.
me, Goldfish.
Sponsor us, goldfish.
No, me.
Sponsor us, Goldfish.
Me.